Hello, good morning. I'm Dudley Thompson, and welcome to Make We Talk Sports here on 96.1 on this here FM dial. And it's the eve of Jamaica's independence, and it's a pre-independence Make We Talk Sports here on 96.1 on this here FM dial. And football be the main focus inside today's show because come September will be a day to elect the president of the Jamaica Football Federation. As you know by now, the incumbent will be running unopposed as we speak, despite the fact that 4 years of what could be described as comedy of errors. It is 4 years. It'll be represented unopposed. And do you think that the criteria to run for jury presidency should be amended? And the criteria is you have to be nominated by 4 parish associations before you can run for presidency of the Football Federation. 4 parish association, and this rule was put into being by the late Captain Horace Burrell, and the thinking by and the belief by others was that he did that so it could be president for life, and some may argue he did made that achievement. And so you think that should be amended the way how one could run for GFA top office? You have to be nominated by 4 associations. Arville Powell wanted to run against Captain Horace Burrell some time ago, and he only secured 2 nominations. And based on that, he could not run. And now the incumbent has secured, I think, 11 so far nominations. Only Kasafa and St. Anne, you were told, did not nominate Mr. Ricketts. And right now, so the other challenger, Tony James, a past president, and he was not able to secure the required 4 nominations. And I think that should be the way to go to select a president. Before we go in the football into more details of the look back at the years of Mr. Reed, so not Reed, sorry, Mr. Ricketts. Let's now take it. Let's now go now. I'm sure the question now as we are on the eve of Jamaica's independence. And what do you think is Jamaica's biggest single achievement in sports? Post independence. What do you think is Jamaica's biggest achievement in sports between 1962 and 2019? Some may argue that it is unprecedented that nothing can top 2000 until 2008 when Usain Bolt 3 Olympic gold medals and the 3 world records that should stand out as the biggest single achievement. What do you think is the most the team cricket World Cup within 3 World Cup within the T20 World Cup, the one day international, and also Reggae Boys qualifying for France 1998 could go down as among the biggest achievement in sports. And also the Reggae Girls qualifying for the Senior World Cup just recent style at the then newly built Indoor Sports Center. What do you think is Jamaica's biggest achievement in sports post independence? If you go back before independence, you can go back to 1948, 1952. That was pre-independence years. We're talking now Jamaica's biggest achievement in sports since independence. All right, and since the topic of independence, before we go into football details, let's now look at Jamaican athlete who basically is unknown in Jamaican circle. Good morning to Michelle Anthony. All right, and he's saying right on, and we're back here. Last 4x4 team, and Jamaica and the United States will be honoring a Jamaican legend, and all it is. But this brother, it was a alternate with a brand Jamaican Jamaica living at T. Garland, staying for the Hilton Hotel in Rye, New York, and the Emmy and Golden Globe nominated American Jamaican actress Carol will also be honored at that event. And La Beach was an alternate member of the Helsinki Golden Quartet, which include the great Arthur Wint, Herb McKinley, George Roden, and Les Leng, and that struck goal in the 4x4 finals at a historic victory back in 1952. And he was also a semi-finalist in the men's 100 meters in Finland, and he went on to win medals for Jamaica at the CSC Games in 1954 and the 4x1 and the 4x100 meter relays and 4x4 relay teams. And he is a St. George's College old student and a celebrated Olympian, was an outstanding athlete for the state for Morgan State University in Baltimore, Maryland from 1950 to 1954, following the footsteps of the famous Olympian brothers Lloyd and Sam LaBeach in 1953 and the CAC Games 100 meter silver and 200 meters in 53. LaBeach, who now resides in New Jersey, Connecticut tri-state area, is the recipient of the Olympic pin from President of the Jamaica Olympic Association, Christopher Samuda, in a recent service there in Kingston. So congratulations there to recognizing a Jamaican athlete with not an household name in Jamaica, but he did his contribution to the Golden Quartet back in 1950, 52 and onwards. He was an alternate, and that means sometimes he would run the heat of for those events and then rested for the finals. He's alternate of that team. So congratulations there for La Beach and be recognized by Jamaicans living there in the New York area. And before we go into details into the football, as some news on lacrosse. Remember the president was in Talk Sports twice before the team left for that World Cup, and not some good news there for Jamaican team over there in Canada. And Jamaica's under 19 women's team, the lacrosse team rather, and they suffered their third straight defeat in the World Cup in Ontario, Canada, after going down 17-1 to Kenya. That game was on Saturday, and it follows up on their 18-2 loss to Germany on Friday and their 18-5 defeat at the hands of China on Thursday. And so the Jamlax girls will be searching for their first win in the tournament later on this evening against South Korea after they will turn their attention to the second round stage of the tournament. So we're hoping that the team can get a win against South Korea as the first Jamaican team to play in the Lacrosse World Cup. And it's not going so well for the Jamaican team for the last couple of months. Earlier we saw the under nine under 23 football team for men did not qualify for the Olympic Games. They knocked out. They bucked at the first hurdle on home soil when they drew two games here in Jamaica, and they were eliminated at the group stage. And also, the same team went on to the Pan American Games and again were eliminated. And so too did the female football team. They went into the same Pan American Games and also were eliminated. And now we're seeing the lacrosse team now in a World Championships, and the lacrosse team is not doing as many were expected. So good morning there to Antoine Royal Strong Maroon. Yeah man, keep it locked there. Blessed there to you, anointed Royal Strong Maroon. Keep it locked here inside that Make We Talk Sports. It's 96.1 on the FM dial. Yes, peace and love. Anointed Royal Strong Maroon. Keep it locked. All right, we're coming to you live from Kingston, Jamaica, into diaspora and over the entire globe. This is Make We Talk Sports, live on Roots 96.1 FM. And today, despite Jamaica having Grand Independence Day for you, and it is not really a good time now for Roots FM as we suffered with what we call now in a bad way double jeopardy as we lost in days apart our first ever chairman, Colin Chumley, and also our first ever general manager, the outstanding broadcaster Tony Young. And they both passed on just days apart, Colin Chumley and Tony Young. So later on inside Make We Talk Sports, you'll hear more details about the contribution of those gentlemen to the growth of the station. All right, so don't miss that one. All right, and Antonio was also instrumental in the early days of sports here on 96.1 FM. So we'll give you more and more of that inside Make We Talk, sorry, inside City Beat later on. All right, we'll continue here inside the sports, Make We Talk Sports. And you know that told earlier that the Jamaican team, lacrosse team, just did not doing all that well so far. We're hoping all games in springboard dive in there. Jamaica won from that time Jamaica has yet to win another medal outside of track and the field at the Olympic Games. But we are seeing where we're qualified in other sports like gymnastics and equestrian and boxing. And Michael McCallum, yes, he went to the Olympic in Russia 1980 as a top contender for the gold medal that year. And when he went to Russia, he he suffered an appendicitis and do the operation and just could not take part in the tournament. And short after that, he tender to becoming world. And he beat Sean Manion 1984 to win the junior middleweight title back then, and he fought that in the Jamaican colors. Wow. All right. So and again, all right. So what do you think is Jamaica's biggest achievement in sports? Was it Michael McCallum winning Jamaica's first boxing title? As some may argue that Usain Bolt one is the greatest of them all. Three Olympic gold medals and three world records. And that could be that's the greatest by far. But there's about any other achievement. They can text it to me or any achievement for Jamaican achievement in the world of sports. You have achieved so far and what they've done in winning the silver medal at the Pan American Games, despite the fact that I'm going as expected.
Do you want to learn more about your computer? Is your smartphone smarting you? Well, Roots Cyber Zone is a program for you, where we talk about the latest happening in the world of technology. Listen for Roots Cyber Info. We give you information about your smartphone, your iPhone, your tablets, your computer, your laptop. We give you tips for you to understand more about these devices. And on Innovation Corner, we give you news and reviews of the latest releases happening in the world of technology. That's Roots Cyber Zone. Listen every Tuesday, now at 5:30 to 6 p.m. with your Owen Brown. Roots Cyber Zone, your place for technology. Are you suffering from any common illness, such as diabetes, blood pressure, constipation, difficulty passing your urine, prostate, or pain in joints? Any problem with your eyes, such as blindness, and breath detachment, bleeding of eyes, pressure eyes, and dry eyes? Then go back. The episode of Tamika in season 2 of the Protect the Future radio campaign saw Tamika, the child star, being caught with two schoolboys in a classroom. Her mother had to be called in.
Early this morning, the school groundsman discovered your daughter in a very compromising position with three boys. One is no longer a student here. No, Miss McKnight, you have been here a few times and you are aware of the seriousness of this matter.
So what gonna happen now? Are you going to expel her?
Yes.
Lord have mercy.
Now she's out of Precious's house. She's now living with her boyfriend and his mother.
Tamika, got the time they're coming home.
She seems to be drunk.
Me not drunk. Me just a child coming unawake, you know. Every weekend you gone out a party. It have to stop now, man. Baby, you make too much out of this.
We are concerned about you.
We are concerned for Penny.
You're out there doing God only knows what with your AIDS reading friend.
What a season! But wait until you hear what happens in season 3. This and every Thursday on Roots 96.1 FM with the Protect the Future radio show. Stay tuned.
To 18 2012, Damien Stain will lead the Charism School with teachings on how to pray for physical healing, how to minister in the power of the Holy Spirit, charisms in the Catholic Church, and much more. Be healed at the Miracle Healing Service on Saturday, November 17 at 6:15 p.m. The registration for the Charism School, which runs from Friday, November 16 to Sunday, November 18, is $500. The Miracle Healing Service on Saturday, November 17 is free. For more details, call New Life Community at 925-6450 or 927-2525. Come learn about the charisms of the Holy Spirit, be healed, and be blessed.
All right, and welcome back here to Make We Talk Sport, and it's 96.1 on this here FM dial. And before we go into details now, let's into the elections coming up now for the presidency of the Jamaica Football Federation. All right, let's now tell you that it's now a one-house affair for the incumbent. And take it back to 4 years ago, no, some years ago, when Michael Ricketts became the 13th president of the Jamaica Football Federation after beating Ambassador Stuart Stevenson at the vote in Congress. Ricketts received 8 parish associations, while Stevenson got a 5. And then on that occasion, Ricketts said he had won the first round of the battle, and the position became vacant when sitting president Captain Horace Burrell died of cancer in June of that year. And Ricketts is to complete the two-time. Ricketts is to complete the 2 year left, the 2015-2019 mandate, and St. James executive Bruce Gaynor served as the interim chief of president since July. And then we know that election went, and Ricketts went on to beat Ambassador Stuart Stevenson. That was then. All right, and coming out to this September, when Ricketts will be running unopposed for the presidency of that association, and some may look back at what had happened under his presidency as football grown under him. But if you compare to Captain Horace Burrell, took Jamaica's football from what we call a bush standard, and it's not exactly world standard, but we have seen a little difference in terms of one. We can say that Captain Horace Burrell made it a mandatory for any individuals want to coach even at a bush league level, high school. You have to be certified. You have to be at least a level 1 coach to be able to coach in any GFF run competitions. And that was the good thing that was done by Captain Horace Burrell. Apart from, yes, the 98 World Cup, which is the high point, of you all know, this high point of his administration, That was the high point. And also, what he did was also the fact that he made it mandatory for teams in the Premier League. They must have the basic, that means seating for at least 1,500 patron must be compulsory, and also change rooms for official. Gone are the days when you go to football match and then see the referee changing under a tree back in those days. And I think Captain Burrell changed that scenario where you go to a top flight Premier League and see a referee changing in their cars or under tree. So they say gone were those days when they said, once you're playing Premier League, you have to have proper facility, including seating for spectators to seat up to 1,500 persons and change room for official. And these were the things that will we see become a reality under Captain Burrell administration. What can we say now? And then the biggest of all, when he said I remember when Burrell won in 1994, and he said his mandate was to employ a foreign coach and then qualify for the World Cup in 1998. When Burrell said that, I heard grumblings in some circles say, hey, Captain, but you're going to go bake on some more bread. But he really proved his doubting Towns is wrong. That was the high point of Captain Burrell. We'll go to the downside, where the transparency also came in. Orville Powell. Yeah, the time when Burrell and some of the players were at loggerheads, players strike force of Purdium and all those in the downside. And Burrell had to flew from Jamaica to pay players cash before they play in tournaments, and also the downside. And the word transparency was also an issue. I remember one time Orville Powell stated that money that comes through FIFA to JFF cannot be accounted for, and the transparency issue was always there when it comes to when it comes to the JFF. And right now, we are now seeing where uh, the incumbent Michael Ricketts is down with the hot seat, and the transparency raised its ugly head again. We already know when it come when with Sidala Marley, when she decided that when Jamaica football team, female team, wanted to have a camp, instead of paying the money to JFF, she opted to pay the vendors. And JFF was not pleased about that decision. But nonetheless, transparency issue raised its head once again. All right. All right. And the incumbent Michael Ricketts is set to return unopposed as president of the Jamaica Football Federation when the vote in Congress take place on September 15. 11 of the 13 parishes nominated Mr. Ricketts will be continuing to do what he, as many would say, bring Jamaica football to tears, but some may argue might not be the case. And Mr. Ricketts and his secretary, that Dalton Wind, have developed a reputation in the football circles, and some might say it combined not to the best of competence when it comes to running football at the local level. And they say his errors are insurmountable. And to show, and they said the show all started with the and they said the show was all started with the initial evaluation of the planless Ricketts who to the presidency at the expense of opposing candidates who articulated a clear vision and detained and detailed plan for the development of football in this country. And but yes, still the voters and the parish associations elected Mr. Ricketts. And dominating early in his career was Whitmore, with Papa Whitmore, and then couldn't agree on a salary issue. And then it was only resolved when Minister Bob the Great intervened, and that salary thing was put to rest. And Whitmore continued to coach the Reggae Boys, as we all know. And the next one came around when when the under 20 male team was sent out for a World Cup qualifier in Florida. They were having a full day training session. That was a big joke there under this one. How can you have a team going out to play a World Cup qualifier without even one training session? before the actual first game. And against all odds, the team coached by Jerome Waite was appointed late the ninth hour, and the team went on unbeaten in the tournament and was eliminated on goal difference by Mexico. I mean, Jamaica sent an ill-prepared team to a qualifying tournament, and that team was lost difference to Mexico. And the question arose was, what if the team was properly prepared? So it's and that these are step errors that we saw came from this administration, but yet still they will be going back unopposed. All right, and then they came out to the male under 17 qualifying tournament. The team also suffered early elimination amid whispered muted against that behavior in the camp was unprofessional. And now we saw the Ricky girls, the Ricky girls qualifying for the World Cup, and that in France. And we also saw what happened there when the main person behind this team, Sidela Marley, she was not properly accredited, so she could not be in the mixed zone, so to call it in track and field terms, and meet the team properly. And she was just in the stands like a regular spectator because she was not properly accredited to be with the team when they were in France. And that was another big blunder by the federation when it comes to properly accrediting that Miss Marley. And we all know what happened then. And during the World Cup itself, JFF left floundering in there trying to explain images of team ambassador and prominent team sponsor Cedella Marley in France, peeping and interacting with the players through a wire fence, you know, and instead of being there with the delegation. And that was another bad move there. Another clownish sequence emerged when the federation, with no money left in the kitty for a pre-tournament training camp, the girls going to Pan American Games was reduced to again to rescued again by Stella Marley and her contacts, with the trust level at zero. The donors requested doing business directly with relevant vendors instead of with Jamaica Football must be sent to the Football Federation, not through a third party. And that again was another blunder there by this federation. The national under 15 team missed on the qualifying tournament in Florida because the JFF failed to make the necessary put together later again. So we're talking about coming forward the challenge. Mr. Ricketts then was Tony James, but he just could not he didn't get the 4 nominations necessary because of the 13, 11 nominated the incumbent, and he was left with Kingston St. Andrew and the St. Anne, and 2 was not enough to buy my ticket for that race. Oh, that was and it was so sad there indeed. Take a break and come right back.
The episode of Tamika in season 2 of the Protect the Future radio campaign saw Tamika, the child star, being caught with 2 schoolboys in a classroom. Her mother had to be called in.
Early this morning, the school groundsman discovered their daughter in a very compromised position with 3 boys. One is no longer as you here. No, Miss McKnight, you have been here a few times and you are aware of the status of this matter. So what will happen now? I'm going to expel her. Yes. Lord have mercy.
Now she's out of Precious's house. She's now living with her boyfriend and his mother.
Tamika, look at the time you're coming home.
She seems to be drunk.
You're not drunk. This a child come in and away. Every weekend you're going out to party. It have to stop
stop now, man. Yeah, make too much of sense. We are concerned about you. We are concerned for Penny.
You're out here doing God only knows what with your AIDS reading friend.
What a season! But wait until you hear what happens in season 3. This and every Thursday on Roots 96.1 FM with the Protect the Future radio show. Stay tuned.
Every child deserves protection. All children have the right to be protected. They have the right to survive, to be safe, to belong, to be heard, to receive adequate care, and to grow up in an environment that is protected. As parents and adults, we have the responsibility to ensure that they are fully protected so that they can survive, grow, learn, and develop their fullest potential. Will you help to protect Jamaica's children? Please, help to protect all children.
A message from the Child Protection and Family Services Agency, CPFSA.
Children do better raised in a family environment.
Absolutely true. Now, did you know, Empress, that as of March 2017, 6 in every 1,000 children were living in a children's home? Six.
That is too much.
Parents, you must play a more active role in protecting your child or children, even if that child is not your own.
Yes, and we know that parenting can be difficult sometimes, but you need support, and you can get support.
Now, if you are having difficulties parenting your children, you can get support by contacting or visiting any of the parish offices of the Child Protection and Family Services Agency.
That's 948-284122 or email info@childprotection.gov.j. Every child deserves to be raised in a loving and nurturing family environment.
A message from the Child Protection and Family Services Agency, CPFSA.
If you don't want pop down and thank you feel one mosquito and run with dengue. So no make water settle in open container. For them we read up under the danger. Usher them out, run them away. Zap them with the zapper and down them with spray. Use mosquito net and mosquito screen. Protect your household, now make them come in. If you don't want pop down and thank you you feel one mosquito and run with dengue.
A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
You see, when you get a youth, you want the world for them. But there's enough things to learn about this parenting thing. Me find out say from them born till them reach 8 are the most important years that. Cause them a grow up and rapid and the mental and emotional capacity of farm. So yeah, hear me? We have to do it for them. Make sure things are run right from the start. This parenting thing, it's really important. So if you in doubt, check it out.
A message from the Early Childhood Commission. Investing today for tomorrow.
Tune into Edutainment 101 on Roots 96.1 FM every Monday at 8 o'clock to 8:30 p.m. where experts voice their opinions on education and entertainment with your host, Deandra. This is where education meets entertainment.
God never said the road would be easy, but remember, faith is the moving cause of all action. Join us every Wednesday for the program Touch Me with Pastor Hall and team from 8:30 to 9:30 p.m. on Roots 96.1 FM for all your inspirations, healing, and deliverance. That's Touch Me every Wednesday from 8:30 to 9:30 p.m.
The show will start 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Students, teachers, and parents will be on the show.
Well, no one can miss the show. They will give out prizes every week. Prizes! Love prizes! It's the Math Club Radio Show every Thursday on Roots FM 96.1.
right, and welcome back now to Make We Talk Sports, and it's 96.1 on this FM dial. And yeah, we're back here on music and football. And again, you can look at Jamaica's sport. You can send us at your where's the phone, all right? And you can send us at 372-8446, or you can text our WhatsApp to 376-8418, or you can it live on stream as we're live here on YouTube. All right, as again, we continue and make it on sports. We said to you earlier, without a doubt, the top one must be uh Usain Bolt, three Olympic gold medals and three world records. You look at Don Quarry, he won the 200 meters, the Olympic Games in Montreal in 1976. Also good, always good one as well. Chilean Fraser Price also did well, doubled by Elaine Thompson. That is outstanding in track and field. But about other sports, well, historic qualification, the World Cup in 1998 was also an outstanding one as well. I rest in the place as a passage radio. Here through 96 on the FM dial, and you are live also on Facebook as well, and give us some outstanding achievements in sports for Jamaica. All right, and for post independence, it date back to 1952. We can tell you about Arthur Wayne, Herb McKinley, George Roden, and Les Lang when they shocked the world by winning the 4x4 gold that particular year. And that was outstanding one there. Of but and all right, some technical issue here with our live stream is internet problem. No, not problem why we continue to have that. We're live on radio, but this is the streaming is a bit up and down at the moment. All right, so Auntie Norma, yes, she always have her sporting moments there. And to which one I think is Jamaica's best ever sporting moment outside of Usain Bolt exploits. And what about the Reggae Boys 1998 qualification? All right, and other thing. And in terms of we don't see in terms of a game as or I say I think we have a call online. Hello, good morning.
I don't say anything you're talking because I'm so dead. I said you see, because the light just lean them out and them are squint and look up and you like you're cutting videos and you don't understand and you can't read down sign.
That's so true.
And whatever they do to Marley, they're like, I'm so upset the man here the money. Make you see amongst the girls them what you can't reason with them to stay so strength and talk to them. And them don't know how the money here because them don't get it.
And that's an issue that the JFF over there, you call the transparency. That's a long issue with the JFF, long years ago, before Ricketts.
If them didn't get it, they wouldn't have a problem.
And they got...
And first thing it would do because the amount of money with them on, them would have wanted to see it, they through them who instead of to make the girls them go through.
And that's so true. And you see...
Check them and them lie too much and them chat too much nonsense. You some of them chase long life when bubble gum straighten out.
And guess what? Elections is now... The elections is September 7th. And return unopposed.
I wish them could have scrambled them, mismanage them like how you scramble a building when it's not good and get different set of people. Everybody, different set. Let them try. If you lose, but them try.
September 15th actually is the election date. And do you think they should change the policy how a person can run for a presidency? Because right now, I get a 4-part nomination before you can run. Think that should go. Yeah.
They are this anything, everything from this place. I think they are traditional and
Oh yeah, breaking up anti-normal.
what that is half the possibility that you're going to do for them. Yeah. But that's it.
And you're breaking up. I love you normal. Yes. All right, you heard there from Antinoma there for you. Yeah, man. I've been on football here, and despite the what you call the comedy of errors by this administration, and they'll be going back unopposed. And I know if Michelle was here this morning, she'd be ranting. Michelle Anthony, if she was here this morning, I could feel the rant after this administration. So many bad judgment, so many wrong calls, so many errors, and guess what? They'll be going back unopposed for another 4 years. Come down now to teams. Teams can't qualify for a single tournament. The under 23 team was seen as a super team, couldn't pass the home stage. We are seeing where Cedella Marley, after JFF plan to abandon the female program, we see where Cedella Marley got she put her personal money and her contacts to save the program, and she wasn't properly accredited to be with the team in France, and that is a big blunder on their part. And also again, they plan to have a training they plan to have a training camp for the the reggae girls to go to Pan American Games, and they could not get the money for the camp. And Sidela Marley again, she went out and raised the funds for the camp and decided instead of giving the check to JFF, she want to pay the vendors will be returning unopposed come September 17 here come September 17. Wow, what a day. And it had come to a time when we saw the plan to have Mr. Nevers in studios one of these days to talk about what happened in England with the Sunshine Girl. You know, they were saying it was their best ever team. They always said the best ever team. Some years ago, it was a campaign "Go for Gold," and the team did not deliver as expected. This time, the team performed on their worst performance since 1995, where they failed to make the top four. And some may argue that it's a game and the ball is round, but the expectation is different from us saying the ball is round. And as I said to you on other occasion, when Jamaica lost to Brazil, no, sorry, when Jamaica and Brazil played to a nil scoreline in the Gold Cup some years ago, the team got a big backlash in Brazil from their own media. And they said, how come you could allow Jamaica to hold you to a nil draw? And when the headline was like nightmare in California, Brazil, the mighty Brazilians were held to a goalless draw by the loaded Jamaicans. These were the headlines back in Brazil. And the entire Brazilian press tore the team apart. Because what? They were held to a nil draw by Jamaica. In the same breath, we could say that we not expected to lose to South Africa in netball. In netball. And the same way, the only team in the world supposed to get Jamaica competition in netball is England, Australia, and New Zealand, nobody else. But now the gap beneath us begins to close. And now South Africa and Malawi are two rising team. It would appear that finally South Africa rose above Jamaica this time around and beat us. And then now we lose to England. And then that set us out for a fifth place playoff. So that's the issue about the ball is round. Certain teams are not expected to beat certain teams in sports. That's the reality. And that's it. So Winston never said it was a case of this indiscipline. Why that happened there in England when they lost to South Africa and then lose to England and could not qualify for the semi-finals and the second for a fifth place playoff against I don't think it was Zimbabwe or African side. So That's how we saw the cookie crumble. But debate will continue come August 17. Sorry, come September 17, where the elections, where Mr. Ricketts will be returned unopposed as president of the Jamaica Football Federation. And hoping this time we're going to see a manifesto as the way forward, because this Ray Girls team right now is a young team learning as they're going along, and with the proper preparation, we expect this team to do much better than what we saw 4 years ago. We saw the last World Cup. This was first time in the World Cup, but we're expecting this team to improve leaps and bounds, and with players getting contracts overseas, and players now in colleges now we're playing MLS, and players playing in Europe. We expect to see a much improved team. And also, yes, Brian Leverkusen. That's no Leon Bailey. Before we go, Leon Bailey's manager, Craig Butler, has rubbish claim that Leon Bailey will be leaving Brian Leverkusen and go to Bayern Munich. He said there's no truth to that, and there's no truth in that saying, but it's been making the rounds on social media that Jamaican Leon Bailey will be as no ink a deal, the German champions, Bayern Munich. And there's no truth to that. That's making around on social media is still with Brian Leverkusen, although the dip in form, he scored 9 goals last year and 6 assists. This year he only scored, this season only scored 5. So the dip in form for Leon Bailey. Despite dip in form, he's still with his club, Brian Leverkusen, and there'll be he's not signed to Bayern Munich. So he must hit on social media, and there's no truth to that. It's here on the FMN. Sorry for the person online. Sorry for the buffering with the social media. We have some technical problems here on social media, but we came to what's the verdict winner inside studio. Have for yourselves a wonderful day. And this has been Make We Talk Sports.